Well, the crypto market's dumping today as a result of the news that we got from Iran last night. Now, last night we got news that the US had officially dropped 3 bombs over on nuclear sites in Iran, leading to a ton of worry here in the markets, with most altcoins dropping anywhere from 8 to 10%. Now, this has led many investors, including many of you, to wonder what in the world does this mean for the future of crypto and what should we be doing right now? And so it's my goal today to, of course, tell you exactly what I think about all this and exactly what I'm doing now. So, my first thoughts, what do I think about all this? And I don't mean this in the way of what do I think about the war. I'm not getting into that. I'm specifically talking about crypto. I don't really think that the crypto market, like for crypto, this is like a huge deal. Okay. Now, the reason that I say that, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm super open to being wrong here, is that I have been through many moments that were very similar to this as a crypto investor, right? One of the most notable and one of the most memorable being, of course, when Russia invaded Ukraine, whenever everything did first start with Israel and Palestine, right? We've seen the crypto market go through these moments a couple times now, especially just within the last couple years. And what I've come to realize is that although in the moment it is very scary, it's very worrying, oftentimes these things do work themselves out. They oftentimes do end up getting to a place where this is just a distant thought, it's just a distant memory, and oftentimes it is an opportunity more than anything else. Now, what I mean by that is that I'm under the belief that this is going to work itself out. Now, sure, could crypto, Bitcoin specifically fall to 90K? Could Ethereum fall back to, sub 2,000? Yeah, all of those things are possible. But I do think that even if that does happen, it is going to work itself out and it's still going to show up as just being an opportunity. And the reason why I think it's an opportunity specifically for crypto, that's all I'm talking about. I'm not getting political. I'm not getting I'm just talking about for crypto specifically. The reason why I believe this is an opportunity is because what we are seeing on the charts. So what you can see here is that as all of this craziness is happening, as we are seeing crypto pulling back, it is following very technical, directions, right? For example, what we can see is that as Bitcoin's price is now pulling back towards some of your bounce zones, we're getting mass overextensions on most of your RSIs on the hourlies, right? So you look at, say, your 4-hour RSI, and look what's happening. We are now officially, now that we've lost bounce zone 1, which is something that I told you all was very possible. So, bounce zone 1 is not a very strong level of support. I didn't think we were going to lose it this weekend, but I also didn't think that the U.S. was going to drop bombs on Iran. But I did tell you that it's, hey, listen, bounce zone 1's not going to be that strong. Bounce zone 2 and bounce zone 3 are the strong ones. And what do you know? As we're starting to approach bounce zone 2, your 4-hour RSI is getting extremely oversold. If we do zoom out a little bit more or zoom in a little bit more and we go to say our 2-hour, we're getting early signs of bullish divergence on those earlier time frames in which we're currently seeing higher lows at the same time that we're seeing lower lows here on the price. And all this means is that as we are seeing Bitcoin's price pulling down, it's starting to overcorrect. It's starting to go too far too fast. And history says that when this happens, the likelihood of being able to find some support and continue upwards or stabilize becomes much higher. If we look at something like the Bollinger Bands, we are now officially overextended to the downside on the Bollinger Bands. And look what happens here historically. Last couple times that we saw the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands was right here, right before we saw Bitcoin bounce all the way back up to 110. The time before that was whenever we were at 74,000, right before we absolutely took off. Time before that was whenever we were at 76,000 before we rocketed all the way back up to 88,000. And the time before that was whenever we were at 78,000, right before going all the way back up to 95,000. History says that when you get in the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands, you have a much higher likelihood of being able to find a bottom and using that bottom to push upwards. Now, sure, we could continue down for a little bit longer before that happens, but it does become historically much more likely that you will see a return to the upside. And so although what we're seeing right now from, all of the news and all of this is scary, don't get me wrong, and if it continues to get worse, it's going to get, continuously more scary, I do believe that this will serve as an opportunity for most people, especially who did enter into the market in November and December. Many people have, average cost on Bitcoin around 99,000, around 105,000, around 110,000. Many people did buy things like Ethereum back whenever, ETH was at 3,500 or 3,000, right? And with the crypto market pulling back right now, I do believe this could serve as an opportunity for many people to start lowering those average costs. I'm not saying going all in right now is a good idea. I don't think leverage trading right now is a good idea, but dollar cost averaging in a moment like this has historically proven to not be a bad idea. If you look at my buy sell bubble sheet, for example, you can see how it's played out, right? Look right here. Look right here. Look in these moments in which the market was just absolutely nuking and we were going in and we were doing some purchasing on days just like this. Sure, in the short term, they might go negative, but long term, they will almost always go positive because Bitcoin has a limited supply and increasing demand. It's just that simple. And over time, historically, that will push the price of an asset upwards. And so in moments just like this, I look at it again more as an opportunity. I don't allow this to shake me out of my positions because had I been shaken out of my positions when Israel first attacked Palestine or or, whatever happened there, right? I'm not getting into it politically. I'm just saying you guys get the point, right? I'm trying to avoid all that conversation. There's no need. It's a crypto channel, right? Whenever we, of course, saw Russia invade Ukraine, boom, had I exited all my positions when that happened, look how far behind I would be. No, I just sit back and say, okay, look, it's going to be a little bit scary. It's going to be a little bit worrying. It's going to be a little bit worrisome. It might get a little bit worse, dang it. But at the end of the day, if you just have enough conviction that crypto is valuable, if you do dollar cost averages on bad days, you'll almost always end up positive. If you bought at any given point before October of last year, at any point, you went positive at some point. Right. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to get across in today's video is that, listen, I know it's scary. I know it's worrying. I know it doesn't feel good. But the truth is here, from a technical perspective, Bitcoin is doing exactly what we kind of figured it might. I told you all, we're in an HMZ, which is a sideways consolidation channel like this, and it's trying to hold bounce zone 1. And the truth is, bounce zone 1 is not a very strong point of support. It might hold Bitcoin's price, but it's going to be very difficult. And what's more likely is that it might come back down to bounce zone 2 or bounce zone 3 and try to use one of these strong bounce zones to try to continue upwards. And as we're getting closer and closer to these bounce zones, we're getting incredibly overextended on almost all of our indicators, which historically will say that we have a decent sized chance of continuing to the upside when the time is right. Now, if this war progresses and it gets much more terrible and we see a bunch of retaliation on both sides, that's going to take a long time and it might just not even happen, right? Sure, the news is something that can cause this to happen. It's just not confirmed yet. It's not likely yet. Bitcoin's still at around $100,000 after the United States literally went drop bombs on something. I mean, if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does, right? So I know it feels scary and I know it feels worrying, but at the end of the day, if you use this as a moment, as an opportunity, rather as a moment to freak out, oftentimes what history says that you will be in a better position in the future than you are right now. Simple as that. So what am I doing right now? I am going to be dollar cost averaging right now today on Bitcoin. I'm not doing a ton because I do think there's a reasonable chance we try to go to bounce zone 2, which does range right between 97.3 and 93.8K. So I will, of course, be waiting a little bit to do my bigger dollar cost averages at bounce zone 2, but I am going to do a little bit today just because we're so overextended and everyone's so worried. I'm going to be doing most of my dollar cost averaging on Bitcoin, but I am going to be rotating some of my averaging into some of my alts. I'm going to be doing a little bit of buying of ETH, not a lot, again, because I'm not a super big fan of ETH, but a little bit of buying of ETH. I'm going to be doing a good bit of buying of Solana, especially as Solana does get ever so closer to, of course, that golden zone to the bottom side. I'm going to be buying a little bit of SWI. I'm going to be buying a little bit of XRP. I'm going to be buying a little bit of ADA. Not a lot, just a little bit, right? I'm going to buy a little bit of HBAR. I'm going to be doing a pretty sizable average on most of my major alts in my portfolio. Not because I think that they're immediately today or tomorrow going to kind of return back to the upside, but more that I think everyone's freaking out, everyone's worried, everyone's screaming that the altcoin market is dead, and that's historically one of the best times to be getting in and doing some averaging, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's not going to be gigantic purchasing. It's going to be small to medium-sized purchases, again, because we were doing a lot of buying, last year, right? Or throughout the beginning of this year. We were buying Bitcoin at 88, 82, 81, $78,000, right? We were doing a bunch of buying down here. So I don't see a point in doing a lot of buying up here, but just a little bit, just because everyone's so freaked out. That's the strategy, okay? So as this all progresses, don't get me wrong, I will be here every single day updating you on how this is playing out. But if I have to give you one piece of advice, is you need to just turn the damn computer off. It's probably the best thing you can do. If you're staring at your screen, you're watching positions dropping, you're worrying, you're freaking out. The truth is you're probably a little bit overexposed to crypto, but we can't change that now. So the best thing you can do from someone who's been in crypto during the pandemic, been in crypto through Russia, Ukraine, been in crypto through Israel and Palestine, been in crypto through some of the craziest, weirdest moments in history, right? In the crypto world. As someone who's been through those things, sometimes the best thing you can do, just turn this shit off. Just turn this shit off. If you're going to do a little dollar cost average, do a little dollar cost average, buy a little bit, do your little purchase and just go do something else, bro. Go wash your car, go clean your dang on house, go deep clean your bathroom. Your wife will love you for it. Just go do something else. Let this play out, because the truth is, historically, again, oftentimes this will work itself out somehow, some way. And I'm going to refer back to this video in the future and be like, I told you, you just got to give it time, okay? So that's my best piece of advice for those of you. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you my opinion, but I hope you do listen, because I've been in this space for a minute and I've seen things like this before, okay? So that's going to be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay present, but stay aware that things are going to feel crazy, but at the end of the day, it's just a moment of time, and life always returns to a point of neutrality, okay? So everybody chill. I have a couple links down below if you want to go check it out. Feel free, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, peace out, everybody.